Hey everybody, this is Congressman Joe Walsh. Another week in Washington. If you're wondering why I'm sitting back lounging in my chair, icing my left shoulder, it's because the congressional baseball team, the Republicans, began practicing this week. And yours truly has a sore arm, so I'm icing my arm. But it's been a good week. Republicans again have been focused on cutting spending, bringing up the fact that we need to create jobs in this country. Our focus is totally on growing the private economy and cutting what this place does. So look forward to your questions. Ron from Hoffman Estates, thanks for your question. What are both parties going to do to solve our nation's problems? And you know, you're right. I think the premise of your question is, don't both sides need to come together to figure out how to solve all these immense problems we're going through? And you are correct. But here's the important point, Ron. The biggest problem this country is facing is that we have a government we can no longer afford, and unless we change that, our kids and our grandkids are going to be bankrupted. The president of the White House has a much different viewpoint on how to change that, and I'd argue I don't even think he understands that problem. The Republicans, Ron, have come here to Washington to lead on this, and we are very hopeful that we'll find enough Democrats to join us in areas where we can cut and limit what Washington does. Tammy from, where are you from, Tammy? I don't know where you're from, but you're from the 8th District. Thanks. You had a great question, and it's a great question. Why isn't Congress defunding the Libyan War? Well, I can tell you right now, Tammy, that we are looking into it. According to the War Powers Act, the president had 60 days from the time he began intervention in Libya to come in front of Congress, explain what he's doing, and get our approval. He has not done that. So you are going to see a real movement in Congress to demand that the president does that. We voted today, I voted today for an amendment which specifically says we will not commit any future funding to what we're doing militarily in Libya until the president comes before us. So we're going to demand, Tammy, that he does. Hey, Patricia from Woodstock, you ask a great question. What are we doing about all the fraud and waste in Medicare and in general in a number of these government programs? I think it was the GAO came out with a study about a month and a half ago that said there's about $115 billion in duplicative government services. Look, there is a boatload of waste in Medicare every year, I think to the tune of about 50 to 60 billion. Congress, I don't know why why prior Congresses continue to drag their feet on addressing this. We need to go after fraud and waste in every government program. But understand, Patricia, at the same time, we need to be reforming Medicare in order to save it, because you can get rid of all the fraud and waste. It's still a program that's on its way to insolvency unless we reform it. Great question. Hey, a question from Richard Lester in Zion, Illinois. Why the heck are we paying almost 40 to 50 cents higher for gas down here in Illinois than the folks up in Wisconsin? Well, I can tell you, Richard, Illinois is a terrible tax state. When you factor in excise taxes and other taxes and fees that we have down here that Wisconsin doesn't have, that accounts for a lion's share of the difference. Illinois is taxed overall about 25% higher down here, our individuals and our businesses. Major difference, which creates, again, with some other supply-demand issues, the difference in pricing. The answer, again, though, for both states, for this entire country, is we need to begin immediately exploring our own resources: oil, natural gas, clean coal, and nuclear. And once we begin to do that, you'll see the price of gas come down. Hey all, again, thank you for your questions this week. Again, Congressman Joe Walsh, have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. I hope to fly home tomorrow morning. Going to be in parades all over the district, a lot of other events. It's what I most enjoy. We have a ton of videos on YouTube, and I think all you need to do there is click the link there to the right, and you can access some of these videos, which will just be great. So do that and spread those around. Thanks.